ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् साक्षात् कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् मूकं करोति वाचालम् पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिम् यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः।
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः।
अथ त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः।
अथ त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः।
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्लोक नंबर 8। अमानित्वमदम्भित्वमहिंसाक्षान्तिरार्जवम्
अमानित्वम् अदम्भित्वम् अहिंसा क्षान्तिरार्जवम्
आचार्योपासनं शौचं स्थैर्यमात्मविनिग्रहः
आचार्योपासनं शौचं
स्थैर्यं
स्थैर्यमात्मविनिग्रहः
इन्द्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यमनहङ्कार एव च
इन्द्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यम् अनहङ्कार एव च
जन्म मृत्युजरा व्याधि दुःखदोषानुदर्शनम्
जन्म
जन्म
मृत्युजरा
मृत्युजरा
व्याधिदुःखदोषानुदर्शनम्
असक्तिरनभिष्वङ्गः पुत्रदारगृहादिषु
शक्तिरनभिषङ्गः
पुत्रदारगृहादिषु
नित्यं च समचित्तत्वमिष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु
नित्यं
नित्यं च समचित्तत्वम्
इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु
इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु
मयि चानन्ययोगेन भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी
मयि
अनन्ययोगेन
व्यभिचारिणी
भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणी
विविक्तदेशसेवित्वभरतर्जनसंसदि
विविक्तदेशसेवित्वम्
संसदि
अरतिर्जनसंसदि
अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वं तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम्
अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वं
अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वम्
तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम्
तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम्
एतज्ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं यदतोऽन्यथा
एतज्ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं यदतोऽन्यथा
These shlokas are important to be memorized. From this shloka onwards, jnana sadhanani, the means of jnanam are equated to jnanam. Jnayate anena iti tadapi jnanam. In the presence of all these qualities, jnanam is assured. The person gains jnanam, he has to gain. That is the goal, in fact, of the yoga, karma yogena, chitta shuddhi. Chitta shuddhi. Chitta shuddhi, upasana, chitta naishchalyam. Then in that chitta, the land which is tilled and the seed is sown, that sprout has to come. There is no reason why it shouldn't come. When sun is there, all the other factors are present. Therefore, in the presence of these qualities, these values, the jnanam has to happen. So therefore, these are equated to jnanam. The spiritual values are equated to jnanam. The first one among them, amanitvam. One presence in a negative, using the negative. Nanch. Maninaha bhavaha manitvam. Atmanaha shlaganam. That is manitvam. Shlaganam is praising oneself. Atma shlaganam. Like your trump, praising oneself. Atma shlaganam. One who has got, or one who demands, excessive respect. The person may have something, it's okay, but demands to be respected. Why should others acknowledge that your demand to be respected? If you're not insulted, that is fine. So asking or seeking recognition. So therefore, that is manaha, the status of being that manitvam, absence of that amanitvam. The absence of that amanitvam. Therefore, there is no seeking recognition from others. You have self-value, value yourself. Unless you have a low self-esteem, low self-image, even if you have something, you won't be seeking recognition from others. You're seeking recognition means you have low self-esteem. Or here, in fact, you have something, but you don't acknowledge that, but you won't acknowledge from others. That is amanit. That is manitvam, absence of that amanit. Whereas adambitvam, adambitvam is some little more. Adambitvam, swadharma, prakatikaranam, dambitvam, avidyamasi. The difference between amanitvam and adambitvam is amanitvam, the person has got certain gunas, certain characteristics, which he wants others to recognize, respect, appreciate. Therefore, there is seeking for recognition is there. That is for the values or the qualities or for the characteristics which he has. That's adambitvam is. The person doesn't have at all. He doesn't enjoy those qualities at all. He doesn't enjoy those talents at all. But he wants recognition, demanding respect without any qualifications. Demanding respect with qualification is manitvam. Demanding respect without any qualification is dambitvam. Vidyamanaihi gunaihi. Atmashlaganam manitvam. Avidyamanaihi gunaihi. Swadharma prakritikaranam dambitvam. Therefore, both should not be there. The status of not being there. Therefore, amanitvam, adambitvam. Therefore, the person must be free from atmashlaganam. Even if you have such qualities, such talents, extraordinary, don't require to be accepted by others. Whether accept others, accept or not is different thing. No, you don't have to demand that from others. You can't expect others to recognize. The demanding recognition is a problem. It's a problem that person has got low self-value. You cannot be fulfilled by you cannot be fulfilled by the views of the others. You have to accept yourself. So all these points to self non-acceptance, a basic problem. The person is not acceptable to himself. Therefore, he seeks recognition from others. How much ever the others, even if gives respect or recognition, still there is lack in you. You don't accept yourself. If you accept yourself, then others' acceptance doesn't matter at all. And that too, without that expecting, that is little more adambitvam, absence of that. Therefore, adambitvam, which are these anahimsa, important quality, not only for the sannyasis, for all. Even though it is tesham sannyasinam, it is dharmaha, tatapi sarvesham, for all. Ahimsa, not hurting by words or by even thoughts or by words or by action, any beings. Any being, that is ahimsa. So, kaikena va vacha va manasa va. Manasa va imsa karmanaha nivritti. Refraining from the karma which are imsa. So pidana. Imsa is pidana, himsa. Tad abhavaha, ahimsa. So therefore kaya va manobhihi. Prani pidanam. Parapidanam. That is imsa. Na himsa, not afflicting others. That is ahimsa. Kshantihi. That is kshama, sahishnutvam. Para aparada sahanam. Withstanding the aparada. Aparada, the affliction. It is somebody has hurt you. verbally or even by action, then immediate reaction is to retaliate. So therefore there is karma, and for that there is opposite karma, immediate response in the form of the reaction. The reaction is so fast. First it occurs in this, as I told, in the mind, and then immediately in the form of action. If you can bring a space between the two, then you have got self-mastery. The reaction is so fast. First, the reaction happens at the mind level. Then it expresses through words or action. So unless it is there in the mind, it cannot express through action. But if we can bring a space between the two, some gap, that is, then you have Kshantihi, not reacting but responding properly, not irresponsive. Respond, but responding properly, not reacting. So not reacting means should you stand your, should you hold your anger, you should hold your feelings, emotions, suppress it? No, that is not the mean. You have your empathy for the other person. Given the situation, even I cannot act differently. So having given a thought to this, seeing the background of the person who has hurt you by words or by action, given that situation, I would be acting the same way impulsively. So therefore, there is empathy, being empathetic. You withdraw from hurt, hurting, or you withdraw from acting, reacting. So that is Shanti, Kshama, because everybody is dictated by their mind and the background. Background is this. Because of the background, because of their brought up, because of their association. So therefore, the person behaves. So, and if you are a matured person, then you will accept the immaturity of the other person. Given the background, I also will be acting that way. Therefore, his action is within the order. You see the order with even in the action of the person. So there is a reason why the person acts. If the person is a jnani, he will not be acting. You will not get angry with the person because the jnani is not going to act that way. The jnani is an ordinary person, man. So therefore, that's where the accommodation is required. You don't need to accommodate good people, but not accommodating bad people means not pulling them to your circle. It's not the meaning. Accommodating means you don't react to the action of those people. So therefore, this is accommodation, shanti, openness. So it means you are open and understand other people, other person. The other person is bad or wrong, bad or good, is we need not label. But there is no reaction. In reaction, there is no learning also, there is no, you don't learn anything, there is no correction. But if you understand, if you don't react and respond properly, there is understanding is involved. And there is a chance for other person also to understand. So therefore, this is an important value. Apratikara purvakam. That apratikara, not retaliating. The retaliation, apratikara purvakam, is start from the mind, not physical. At the beginning, it is at the physical level. Later, even at the thought level also. Even at the thought level also. So Shanti is a very big quality. If the person has got Shanti, has got Kshama, then he is invincible. As Swamiji says, you must have a Teflon coating. Teflon is a very hard plastic. So any amount of blows, it will not break. So therefore, like that Teflon, you are strong. So you will not break. Nobody can break you. So that is the Shanti. The person doesn't have Shanti, he is easily influenced by, is easily, can be easily manipulated by the other person. They can make you act, react the way they want. You give the hold, the control to the other person. Your control is not in your pocket, it is with the other person. We are with you, it means you have got Shanti, Shama. Easy to say, difficult to practice. All these values are difficult to practice. It all requires self introspection. That is why they are equated to Jnanam. Then only Jnanam is also possible. In the absence of this, Jnanam, moksha is ruled out. One cannot be free, ruled out. So, therefore, there is Anvaya Vyatireka. In the presence of all these qualities, Jnanam is assured, Jnanam will be there. In the absence of all the qualities, Jnanam is not there. Therefore, they become what? They become the cause. Yasya Yat Satve Tat Sattam Anvaya Yad Abhave Tat Abhava. Yad Abhava. Therefore, this becomes the hetu, the karanam for jnanam. Only when these values are there, then only the antakaran, the mind also is calm and quiet. Even in a busy street, you will not be troubled. You will not be disturbed by the actions going around, the noises, bustling noise around, because you will be enjoying the tranquility which is inside. So therefore, you will remain unaffected and being with yourself. So that attitude, that mind is required. Only that mind which enjoys this, jnana is possible. Teaching is given, the teaching also can seep through the mind. So the teaching will penetrate the mind only when the mind enjoys such qualities. That's what requires continuous embellishment of the mind. Mind is a karanam, it's a tool. Mind is not you. But because it is a karanam, therefore the karanam, the antakaranam only knowledge is gained. Otherwise, what? How do you gain knowledge? Knowledge is only through mind. Cannot gain knowledge through any other karanam, not by eyes, not just by physical eyes. The eyes also sees object and reports and directs that to the mind. The mind processes it and then knowledge takes place. Even though we say Chakshurindriya Pramanam, but Chakshurindriya will be a Pramanam when it is backed up by the mind. The mind backing up is there for all the sense perceptions. Without mind, sense organs cannot function. So it is a mind. The thing is, sense organs are Bhagya Karanani and mind is Antakaranam. Only one Antakaranam and Bhagya Karanani, all the sense organs. As we dismiss sense organs are not you, we also dismiss mind. But without mind being Antakaranam, because our knowledge takes place in the Antakaranam. Unless the Antakaranam is pure, relatively pure, knowledge cannot take place. That is why there is emphasis on embellishing the mind. That is why there is so much emphasis by Bhagavan in making the Arjuna do karma yoga iti. So the karma yogena chitta shuddhi. Chitta is embellished. Raga dvesha, these are the mala, the dirt. So these have to be removed. And Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa used to say that mind is like a copper vessel. It's not enough cleansing one time. Every day it has to be clean. That is why Nitya sadhana, japa ityadi, Nitya sadhana. It is not once in a week or once in a month. Nitya naimittikadi karma. Nitya karma. It's every day. Because mind thinks and you go with the mind. Our abhimana with the mind is so strong. We don't think ourselves to be different from our thoughts. We are the thoughts. Therefore, thoughts have to be pure. For thoughts have to be pure, the mind has to be made pure. So therefore, there is emphasis on cultivating these values. Then Arjavam, another important value. Rujubhavaha, Arjavam. Ruju is Riju. Riju is a word, straight. The Tadita word of that Arjavam. There is alignment of thought at the mental level, at the verbal levels, at the speech level, and at the action level. So Kaika, Vachika, and Manasa. There is alignment. What I think, that I say. What I say, I do. Otherwise, the person will be a split personality. So what I think, that I say, Satyam. And what I say also must be the truth also. So what I think, alone that I should say, that alone I should do. I think something, I say something. It is asatyam. And Ritam is what is truth. The truth I know, that I say. So what I know, that must be truth. And what I know, that I should say. And what I say, that I should do. It is Arjav. The action should be in keeping with the word. And the word is the thought. This is the alignment. So it means there must be consistency. That my actions should be consistent with my words and thoughts. I should not play fast and loose, saying one thing and doing another thing. Then I become unreliable. So the Upanishad, the words are used. Satyam vadishyami, ritam vadishyami, ritam and satyam. Speaking the truth, satya. So there in the Bhashyakara differentiates. There's a satyam and ritam, both are same in some aspect. But because Satyam and Ritam, they are mentioned in the same Shantipata, therefore different meaning should be given. So what is truth? What is truth? That I saying that, Satyam. And what I know to be truth, what is there in my head as truth, that I say, that is Ritam. Or otherwise, I don't remember which way Bhashyakara comments. Therefore, but it is Satyam and Ritam. It is a value. So this is Arjava. In fact, Arjuna, the word also, the same Raju. Arjuna is who is straightforward. Straightforwardness, that is a right translation. Arjavam, straightforwardness. Like straightforward is straight. There is no bending and all. Like a tree grows straight. Straightforwardness. Arjuna ha. That's why Arjuna is a noble person. Arjuna is not an ordinary man. Even though he is such a noble person, Arjuna, yes, all these values are there, but Bhagavan, he asked him to do karma. He didn't ask to give up everything and come to Rishikesh and take sannyas. I didn't say that. So, because even though he is a nobleman, have got some qualities, but Bhagavan says, you need to grow yet. You are not grown yet. Anadhikari, therefore karma kartavyam. Indirectly, not directly, not to insult, but it is the fact. So there is lack of preparation, enough preparation for jnanam. Therefore, karma kartavyam iti, again he emphasizes. Give uh, the upadesha to Arjuna. So Arjavam, Rajubhavaha. There is no vakratvam, no crookedness. Saying one thing, doing other thing. And saying also different from what the person thinks. That is vakra, crooked, not straight. Putilayam, even dhatu also we have. Putilayam gatau, the dhatu, srip dhatu. From that dhatu we get the word sarpa. Sarpa is serpent. How does the serpent walk or crawl? They don't crawl, they don't move in a straight way, straight direction. It crawls, crooked way. So that is vakra. Vakratunda mahakaya, vakra. So therefore Rajubhavaha is avakratvam, no vakra, arjavam. Mano vakaya kayanam ekarupyam, which is all the three as is in the same form, in alignment. And the next one is Acharya Upasanam. Acharya Upasanam. Who is an acharya? That is important. Acharya has to be defined. Swayam acharati anyan acharayati. Achinoti shastram. The Achinoti he himself follows what the shastram teaches. Swayam acharati anyanapi acharayati. That is called acharya. Acharya word, if you see, it's a nice word derived from the dhatu. Char dhatu. Char, to move. Char, chal. All these are the sense of movement. Charati, chalati. And A is upasarga. Therefore, A is upasarga, therefore you get acharya. So, acharya, brahmacharya, all these are the same. Acharya, brahmacharya, chara, chara move. Acharya, acharya is one achinoti, the shastrartham. He teaches shastrartha. Achare stapayatyapi. Established in the achara, in the values which the shastra teaches, he conducts himself accordingly. Swayam, swayam api acharedastu taha acharyah iti smrtah. Swayam acharate yasmat, tasmat acharyah uchyate. The definition, achinoti cha shastrani achare stapayatyapi. Swayam acharate yasmat, tasmat acharyah uchyate. He is called acharya. He swayam acharati, he follows and makes others follow also. Anyan acharayati. Acharya, and therefore it's a teacher. Deshikaha, Guruhu, all these words are Acharya. Adhyapakaha, there are so many words for Acharya, for teacher. But each have got some differences there. So the Acharya is one here who has got, who teaches a student. So the student lives with the teacher in the Gurukula, the family of the Guru, Gurukula Vasa. And the student does whatever work is asked to be done by the student, whatever work is allotted to the student does. The student is interested in gaining jnanam of the Shastra. Therefore, the teacher-student relationship comes. The student is not interested, then where is the studentship? Where is the Shishya and where is the Acharya? There is no relation. Because the student wants to gain the knowledge, and knowledge is with the teacher, therefore, he approaches the teacher, then there comes the link, the sambandha. Shishya, Acharya, Shishya, sambandha. Shishya, Acharya, sambandha. And here, when it comes to Vedanta, where the Shastram, which is Shabdarashi in the form of words, which are to be handled by the teacher, a teacher who has come in the Sampradaya with Acharya, and the student approaching the teacher has got Shraddha, therefore only he approaches the teacher. Therefore, Acharya Upasanam implies Shraddha in the Shastram and Shraddha in the words of the teacher. Because Shraddha brings the capacity to listen to the teacher. Otherwise, what will happen if the person doesn't have Shraddha? Even though the teacher will speak, will say, the student will not listen because there is no Shraddha. Always the Ahankara will come and say, doubt everything what teacher says. So when Shraddha is there, then naturally there will be respect and there will be love for the teacher, so that the knowledge is smoothly transferred from the teacher to the student. The student has surrendered the ego at the altar of the pramana and the teacher, and the student makes himself available for the teacher, for teaching to take place. Therefore, Acharya Upasana. All this involves Acharya Upasana. Therefore, Acharya Upasana means it is Chitta Shuddhi, Shraddha is there. Shraddha is there in the teaching and the teacher. The teaching is there, the teacher also should be there. Therefore, Acharya Upasanam. Whether it is with regard to Vedanta Shastram or with regard to any Shastram, any teaching, even Lokika Jnanam also, whether it is physics, chemistry, or anything. So, you must have acceptance of the teacher. Then only teaching can be accepted. The acceptance of the teacher means acceptance of the teaching. The teacher is accepted for his teaching. So, Acharya Upasanam. Vaidika Dharmasya Karma Yogasya Upadeshtru Acharyasya Shushusha Namaskaradi Prayogena Sevanam. That is Acharya Upasanam. Shushusha. So, Acharya Upasanam involves Shushusha. Shotum Icha Shushusha. Shushusha has got another common meaning. Another meaning is that this, even though it is a sananta, desiderative, Shotum Icha Shushusha, because of its usage, it's got another meaning. That is doing seva to the teacher. Namaskaradi Prayogena Sevanam. It is Acharya Upasanam. Acharyasya Upasanam. Tadviddhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya. Bhagavan said before, the fourth chapter. So therefore, Acharya Upasanam. Moksha Sadhana Upadeshtu Acharyasya Shadi Prayogena Sevanam. In the Bhashyakara says, who is the Upadeshta, the means for moksha? Acharya. He only unfolds the Shastram. Shastram gives jnanam, therefore Shastram is the pramanam. Pramana cannot be operated by oneself. Therefore, somebody has to unfold the meaning of the words of the Shastram. Who can do? Only a competent person. Who is the person? Acharya. Shrotriyaha Brahmanishtaha. Therefore, doing seva to the teacher, which is why the seva is done, because he wants to listen to the teacher. Therefore, Shrushadi Prayogena Sevanam. Pranipata Pariprashna Sevabhihi Acharya Anuvartanam. Following the teacher. Acharya Upasanam. Acharya Anuvartanam. Following the teacher. Not physically following. Physically following also one thing. Physically is following the words of the teacher. That's what Shraddha is involved. Accepting the words of the teacher and following the words of the teacher and acting accordingly also. So Achara also is involved. That is why Acharya is one. Swayam Acharati, Anyan Acharayati. Anyan is what? Shishyan. Whether it is Dharma Shastra or Vedanta Shastra. Dharma Shastra, one teaching. Vedanta Shastra, teaching. Jnanopadesha. Dharma Shastra, Dharma is taught. Dharma is not just for knowing, it is for following. Therefore, Acharya is one who makes students follow. Therefore, Acharya Anuvartanam. The student has to follow the Achara. Achara as it is revealed in the Shastra, Dharma Shastra. And the teacher knows. Therefore, the teacher teaches and student follows. Therefore, Acharya Anuvartanam. One may ask why we required Dharma Jnanam in Vyavahara. There comes certain situations we face, comes in life, where we don't know what to do. We are in a dilemma. Which one is proper? Because we are dharmika, Vaidika, we want to follow dharma. There comes the samshaya, which is correct. Which one should be followed? Not able to distinctly understand, and therefore there is some dilemma, confusion. Then in that case, Shruti itself says, then you go and approach the Vriddha Purusha. Why Vriddha Purusha? Vriddha Purusha is not old one. Vriddha Purusha is one who has got enough experience of the world, who has experienced the world. Therefore, he must be knowledgeable. Therefore, you approach them. Ye kechasmachreya humso brahmanaha. There in the Taittiriya Upanishad. अत यदि ते कर्म विचिकित्सा वा वृत्त विचिकित्सा वा स्यात् कर्म विचिकित्सा चिकित्सा विचिकित्सा चिकित्सा treatment चिकित्सा doubt with regard to doing an action karma. The doubt is there whether it is proper or not. Yeah, then go and approach a person who is well informed, who has got undergone experiences in life. Who is that person? Vriddha Purusha. Old people. That is why elderly people are their assets because they have faced the life, have got experience, they know. So therefore, they can guide the young people. They can guide the kids, the children. That is why elderly people are respected for their knowledge and for their experience. So therefore, for Dharma Jnanam, also teacher is required. For Vedanta Shastram, also teacher. Dharma Jnanam, Dharma Acharanam, Achara, Acharya, Achara, Acharati. If Dharma is there, then only Jnanam is possible. Dharma is to be followed, Jnanam is to be known. For both Dharma Jnanam and Moksha Jnanam, Vedanta Jnanam, without Acharya, it is not possible. Therefore, Acharya Upasanam, Acharya Sevanam, doing Seva to the teacher, that is in the form of having the entertaining the desire for listening, and Shraddha must be there. So all these constitute Acharya Upasanam, not just approaching the teacher. Upasanam is Upa Asanam, As Dhatu, to sit. As. Upa is Samipe. Samipe Aste. Not just sitting near the teacher. Sitting near the teacher to listen to the teacher, to follow the teacher. That's why Acharya Anuvartanam, following the teacher. Words of the teacher. Then Shaucham. Shaucham is purity. Shaucham. That can be both external as well as internal. Bhagihi Antaha Shuchitva. Both. Kayamalanam Rakshalanam. Bhagyam Shaucham. Cleansing the body, taking bath daily. That is Kaya, the dirt, which is Kaya Mala. The Mala, the dirt on the body is cleansed by Rakshalanam. That is Bhagya Shaucham Stanam Ityadi. Taking bath Ityadi. What about the Mala which is there in the mind? Mano Malanam, Ragadveshadinam, Pratipaksha Bhavanaya. That also has to be Apanayanam, should be removed. How you remove that? That removing, that is removal by Karma Yoga Ityadi Sadhana. That's why we have Karma Yoga for Chitta Shuddhi. And that is Antaram Shaucham. So Antara Shaucham, when we say, it is by Yoga Buddhya, Yogena, Karma Yogena. Raga Dvesha goes away how? There is no other way by which Raga Dvesha can be reduced. You can't say it can be eliminated completely. It can be reduced. We can make them less effective, less afflicting. So therefore, Raga Dveshadinam, Apanayanam, that is Antara Shaucham, internal cleanliness. Therefore, external cleanliness and internal. So both. Cleanliness means purity, internally and externally. Externally, when we say it starts with our own body, therefore, Stana Vidyadi, and also keeping the place, our surroundings, environment clean. So our body and therefore our clothes, and also our house and the environment, keeping it and clean. So every day it has to be clean. Not Kadachit Kastanam, Nityastanam. Ganga Snanam. So that is Snanam. As the body gathers dirt every day, similarly mind also. That is, my mind also has to be purified. That is why Japam Mityadi sadhanas are important. Inner cleanness. That by prarthana. We do achamanam when before we do any Vedika karma, before any Japam also. Achyutaya namaha, Anantaya namaha, Govindaya namaha. That cleanse our speech, taking the name of the Lord. Achyutaya, Anantaya, Govindaya. Even if you have uttered anything in any word wrong, any bad words, even if you have uttered, he cleansed the mouth by sipping water 3 times. Achyutaya namaha, Anantaya namaha, Govindaya namaha iti. That is achavanam. Or pranayama, that is also for cleansing. All these, that's why they all form the path of the karma, Vedika karma. There is no Vedika karma without achavanam and pranayama. Because cleansing. So this is physically, we are cleansing. Physical action it is. Physical action, uttering the mantras, we cleanse the mind, inner antara shaucham. And another way of antara shaucham is by pratipaksha bhavana. Pratipaksha bhavana is, pratipaksha is opposite. You bring in the opposite to the to what is there in your mind. That suppose if your emotions are impure, so you bring the opposite is what? Pure. If you have hatred for a person and nobody feels happy having entertaining hatred for the person, therefore deliberately you cultivate a liking for the person. Liking means you don't have to go and hug the person and kiss. That is not the meaning. To cultivate liking for the person means so that you don't hate. It's not for the sake of that person, it is sake for you. So that you enjoy inner calmness, tranquility. That is cleansing. Otherwise, what will happen if you hate other person? All the time you will be ruminating on that person, meditating on that person. That person will occupy your mind all the time. So you lose your freedom. In order to be sane, in order to operate freely, therefore, have this pratipaksha bhavana. That is also antara shaucham. So, shaucham, that is why shaucham is, even in the Bhashyakara says, Kaya malanam mrijjalabhyam prakshalanam. The dirt of the body, they are cleansed out by sand and water. Those times they don't have soap, therefore they use only mud and the jala. That is antara, that is bhagya shaucham. Antara shaucham, antascha manasaha pratipaksha bhavanaya ragadi malanam apanayanam shaucham. Apanayanam is removal of raga, dvesha, etc. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, all the shatribus. All these are dirt to be removed. How? By pratipaksha bhavanaya. Pratipaksha. So pratipaksha is opposite. So pratipaksha bhavanaya to be cleansed. So suppose if you have liking for something which is not good for your spiritual journey, then also you have to bring pratipaksha bhavana. Then you have to bring in the thoughts, bring in the idea that how dangerous or how problematic those are if you allow them in your life. Vishaya dosha darshana abhyasena pratipakshanam shantyadinam bhavana. So both love or liking for those things which are not conducive for spiritual growth, And similarly, hatred also, both. So love for things or persons and hatred for things or persons, both. In both cases, bringing the Pratipaksha Bhavana and cleansing the mind. So this is Antarshaucham. Stairyam Atma Vinigraha. Stirasya Bhavaha Stairyam. Stairyam is stira is steady. You saw the word before. Stita Pragyaha, Stira Pragyaha. So steadfastness. So committed to the moksha purushartha, steadfast. The person is a mumukshu. Who is a mumukshu? Who has got desire for moksha. Not just having desire alone will help. That must be commitment. The commitment shows that the person being a mumukshu is committed to the moksha is the end, therefore he committed to the means of moksha. Therefore the pursuit of moksha, committed to the pursuit of moksha. And he has got very clear idea, clear knowledge of the means of the moksha, what moksha is, and what is the priority of, because we have four purushartha, dharmartha, kama, moksha, purushartha. Therefore, moksha is what I want, and therefore, purushartha nishchaya, and what is the means for moksha. And that means of moksha once known, therefore committed to that. Stadia, stira bhavaha. Therefore, the mind is always behind that, doesn't go anywhere. Even if it goes, it is pulled back to the pursuit of moksha. So therefore, it is stairya bhava. Even in pursuing dharma, artha, and kama, if the person has got if the person has got stadium, he will see to that they subserve moksha purushartha. Therefore, it is stairya. Stadium is one word. Atma Vidigraha, the next word. So stirasya bhavaha stadium. Being steady to the pursuit. To the what are the pursuit? Here we are talking about moksha. Therefore, stira bhavaha moksha marge eva stadium. In before the word, the other word was used in the second chapter. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi. The person who has got well ascertained conclusion with regard to the priorities of life. Priority is moksha. And what is a priority? Purushartha nischaya, the first stadium. All these are connected. Stirasya bhavaha, stadium. So, stiri bhavaha. Not only moksha, even otherwise also. Swadharme, karma yogi. Karma yogi ekanishtatvam. That is, swadharme karma yogi, parvatasya. Ekanishtatvam. That is stadium. And for karma yogi, it is required. He must be committed to his karma as a yoga, doing it as a yoga. And for Jnana Yogi is committed to the pursuit of Jnanam through study of Shastram. Therefore, Nishta. Therefore, Nishtatvam, Nishta is involved. Stadium is commitment. Lokesmin Dvidha Nishta, Pura Prokta Maya Nagha, Jnana Yogena Sankyanam, Karma Yogena Yoginam. Swamiji translates that as two different lifestyles, committed lifestyles, the word uses. Jnana Nishta and Karma Nishta. Jnana Nishta in the form of sannyasa, Karma Nishta in the form of Karma Yoga, Grihastha. So Nishta Nitaram Sitihi, stadium, Stiri Bhavaha, committed lifestyle. That word, that is the translation in fact he gives, stadium. Then Atma Vini Gragaha, Vini Nigraha Gragdatu, Gragdatu, Grahanam to hold. So Atma Vini Gragaha. Vinigraha, Nigraha, Vinigraha, Nirodha ityartaha. So it is that is Atma Vinigraha is Atma is not Sachidananda. Atma is here Sharira Mana Sangata, body, mind, sense complex. Body is also sometimes called Atma, mind also. In fact, Atma Shuddhi we say. Atma Shuddhi, Antakana Shuddhi, Atma Shuddhi. In Gita itself, the word used Atma Shuddhaye, Sangam Tyakta Atma Shuddhaye. Atma Shuddhaye. Where is Atma? Atma is already Shuddha. Why should you make it pure? It means Antakarna Shuddhaye. So depending on the context, we give the meaning of the word Atma. And sometimes it can be used as a reflexive pronoun also, Atma, oneself. But here Atma is this Sharimana Sangata. They are the means, the Karanam. So for Atma Vinigraha, the body, mind, and sense, they must serve you. There must be, you make that it is helpful to you. Not you don't obey their order, let them obey your order. So training the body, mind, sense complex in a way that is useful for you to reach the end. That end is moksha. Therefore, Atma Vinigraha. Tamas is natural. Therefore, tamas, getting up early in the morning, tamas, or postponing procrastination, that is due to tamas, lethargy. So overcoming that. That's because of this tamas slothfulness, there is some slack in pursuing moksha. That is detrimental. Therefore, it has to be overcome. Therefore, the person must have mastery over that. Even if the person doesn't like to get up from the bed, he must get up. If the person doesn't want to do that particular action now, but must be done, want to postpone, must be done now. So all these are self-imposed, the self-imposed, the values. So therefore, postponing is not going to solve the problem. Postponing is postponing the problem. But problem is that it has to be solved now, either now or tomorrow. Instead of tomorrow, better now. So therefore, Atma Vinigraha is very important. So therefore, and also by Vinigraha, by Nirodha, by withdraw from what? Withdraw from those things also which are not useful for, not conducive for moksha. So engaging in karma, there are any actions which are not conducive for moksha. Paranchikani Vedranat Swayambhavu, Parang Pashyati, Nantaratman. The Kathopanishad says. So Indriya sense organs are naturally, they are extrovert. Therefore, Parang Pashyati, Nantaratman. Therefore, withdrawing them, making them help you in your moksha pursuit. That is Atma Vinigraha. When we say Atma Vinigraha, there comes all these sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, the two important values, Dhamma and Shama. Shama is mastery over mind. Dhamma is mastery over sense organs. Therefore, Atma Vinigraha, meaning Karya Karana Sangatasya Vinigraha. Svabhavena sarvataha pravartasya sanmarge eva nirodha Atma Vinigraha. Bhashakara beautifully says, by naturally, Svabhavena sarvataha pravartasya. Everywhere it gets distracted, goes away. What? The mind and sense organs. So that to be brought back, withdrawn, and sanmarge eva, it should be made to follow the sanmarga, satmarga, good path. That is a marga which is conducive for moksha. So sanmarge eva nirodha. Nirodha is tad anukulataya vivastapanam, making them flow, making them go, in sanmarga, so that it becomes helpful for us in our spiritual journey. Therefore, sanmarge, pratisiddheshu vishayeshu pravritti abhavaha. The vishaya which is pratisiddha, prohibited. The mind naturally tends to go towards that. So there is a natural flow of the mind towards the Vishayas which are prohibited, which are not conducive, which are not favorable for one's pursuit. Therefore, the pravritti abhavaha, withdrawing them, that's why Atma Vinigraha, Nirodha, Atma, stopping. Stopping means stopping from pursuing those things which are not conducive, not just stopping, directing them, channelizing them properly towards the sadhana which are conducive for moksha. So moksha is the end. That is why conducive for whatever is the end. Towards that, this Sarina Manasangata should be directed. That is Atma Vinigraha iti. Next shloka, we will see. Since these are values, therefore it takes time to explain. Only one, not even one shloka. Yes. Last class we saw the first line. Today we saw only the second line. These are values, therefore we need to talk on that. Therefore it takes time. As I told, this is the first topic which Swamiji teaches is these values. After that only, in fact, he enters into Gita. The value of values. So we also will spend some time on this. After that, we can just go smoothly over the other shlokas. They can be discussed in maybe 2-3 shlokas in the class. But this will take time, from 8th shloka up to 12th shloka. From 13th shloka onwards, it's certain topics are discussed. Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Prakriti, Purusha. That can be covered quickly. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll continue the next shloka in the next class. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stanvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam na vidusvara suraganaha Devaya tasmai namaha Om Purnamadav Purnamidham Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Dhanyavadah.
हरि ओम धन्यवाद गुरुजी
धन्यवाद शरण जी
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಅಜ್ಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.